when you look at Ben and you look at Tucker, what do you think are the main issues, go-to issues? Israel is one of them. What other issues, specific issues, differ between Ben and Tucker?
Well, I don't even think Israel is like in the top 3.
What do you think it is?
Israel is the divisive issue. Israel is the wedge issue. Israel is the emotional issue. Of course, Ben and Tucker don't agree about Israel. And Ben, very personally, as the most famous religious Jew maybe on the planet, objects to Tucker's characterization of Israel.
He may be the most religious Jew on the planet?
The most famous religious Jew on the planet.
You put him ahead of Adam Sandler? I mean, that's like, you're...
Adam Sandler's not an Orthodox religious Jew. Yeah, Adam Sandler is a very famous Jew.
I'm giving you a hard time. I'm giving you a hard time with this. I had to give a shout out to Adam Sandler. But
I love Adam Sandler.
But by the way, you ever watch the movies he does? It's always the Zohan. It's the Palestinian. He always messes with people. It's phenomenal the way he does it.
I suspect Adam Sandler has really good politics.
I do as well,
he's
but
a really good
he
guy.
can't touch it. I don't think he can touch it, no.
But kippah-wearing, Sabbath-observing, kosher-keeping Jews, who's more famous than Ben in the world? So, of course, he cares about...
I don't follow the Jewish Leaders Bulletin for fame. But let's just say it's Ben Shapiro.
Can you name another one? Can you name one other one?
Well, what I'm saying to you is fine. I'm with you. So let's just say he is.
Yeah, so of course he cares about Israel, but Israel isn't even like... Tucker's a socialist.
You think Tucker's a socialist?
Tucker says he's a socialist. Watch enough interviews with him and people will ask him and he'll say, yeah, kind of. They'll ask him, who do you think are the best people in Congress? And he'll say, yeah, but Thomas Massey. But then he'll also say, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. Tucker is advancing a left-wing economic vision for the future of this country. Tucker, here's a huge point of disagreement, America. Tucker doesn't believe that America is a force for good. Tucker thinks that what's good about America is that his parents are buried across the street from his house. He thinks that what's bad about America is literally every good thing America has ever done. He plays around with the idea that 9/11 was an inside job. He plays around with the idea that demons gave us the bombs that allowed us to win the Second World War. He launders the idea by way of his guest that Churchill was the chief villain of the Second World War. That's no different than than Antifa tearing down statues of Christopher Columbus. It's just rhetorically tearing down the statues on which this country is built, the narrative on which this country is built. If every bad thing that's ever been done to us was an inside job, he flirts with 9/11 being an inside job, the moon landing being an inside job. Our greatest achievements were fake. The greatest attacks against us were fake. All the things that we did that were good were actually bad. That's not someone who loves America as it is. The America that Tucker believes in is a hypothetical America. It's America that doesn't exist. The America that exists fought the Second World War, defeated European fascists in Germany, defeated Imperial Japan. The country as is landed men on the moon and returned them safely to Earth. The country as it is has led the economic order that has lifted 1 billion people out of poverty in this world. The country as it is the country that was attacked on 9/11 by Al-Qaeda and jihadist Islam out of the Middle East. The country, that is the actual America. So, this sort of blood and soil, America is just the people and the government has always been evil. Well, that's not fair. It's a government of the people. The idea that America is great, but the corporations are evil, well, that's not fair. Corporations are assembled bodies of people working toward common interest. So you can't make an argument that America is great except for all the things that are America, which is essentially what Tucker's doing. So yeah, I think what do Ben and Tucker Carlson disagree about the most? They disagree about America the most. And yeah, they also disagree about Israel. But Israel is just a tool for the dissident right to try to break the Republican Party's relationship with or evangelical Christians' relationship with the Republican Party so that they can use the Republican Party to effectuate this new political order that they want, which is largely left-wing economics and largely right-wing social policy. That's all Israel is. As an American political issue on the right, that's all that Israel is. And yeah, Ben disagrees with Tucker about that issue pretty profoundly.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much of an impact this is going to have going forward, midterms, 2028. Will it have any impact? Will it not have any impact? Charlie was the guy that was a unifier. Everybody else, they're fairly direct competitors. Like when I think about Daily Wire, Tucker, I don't know where Beck plays a role. Beck has got a lot of credibility. There's some people that really trust the way Beck breaks things down. He's a very good teacher. I like him a lot.
For sure.
And you got a lot of other names out there. We don't have Prager today. Peterson's kind of out of it today. There's Crowder's got his own name because Crowder's also got an audience. You got the Nick side, the Young, the streamer side, Fuentes side that you're dealing with. Has it always been like this, or is this the most fractured it's been going into 2028?
It's been fractured. It's never in my lifetime been like this. And there's never been a force operating at scale on the American right in my lifetime that's as anti-American and anti-American conservatism as this dissident right-wing movement that we're dealing with right now. If you look back to the John Birch Society days and all of that, that's before my time. I'm aware that it existed, of course. I know the history of it a bit. But in my lifetime, it's never been like this. Is it going to bear ill fruit in the midterms? Of course. I mean, Nick Fuentes is saying that he won't vote for Republicans in the midterms. Candace Owens is saying she won't vote for Republicans in the midterms. Tucker is essentially at war with the Trump administration now by name. Like he stopped even paying lip service to the idea that he supports Trump. He's making some of the worst accusations about the president that anyone out there is making. These guys have huge audiences. Tucker has a huge audience. Candace has an even bigger audience. Nick has a large audience, probably not as large as people assume it is, and not necessarily an audience that's likely to vote in the primaries, but an ascending audience, an audience that every day becomes more politically powerful. So yeah, if all of them are working against Republican prospects in 2026, that's going to be a huge hurdle to try to overcome. But here's the thing about politics. Sometimes you have to lose in politics in order to win. Now, you only win by winning. Losing is not a good business model. Losing comes with enormous, very real consequences. I'm not one who would say we need to lose the midterms and we need to lose the presidential so that we will root out all these bad actors on the right and so that No, the stakes are too high. You have to try to win.
When we set out to create a shoe that blends comfort, function, and luxury, we had the choice to make it fast. We had the choice to make it cheap. We chose neither. Instead, we chose Tuscany, Italy. We chose true Italian craftsmanship, each pair touched by 50 skilled hands. We chose patience, spending 2 years perfecting every detail, and we chose the finest quality at every step. Introducing the Future Looks Bright collection. Not rushed, not disposable, not ordinary. Rather, intentional, luxurious, timeless. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.